Hello everyone, I am back with another video today. Today I am skipping ahead a recipe in Baking Yesteryear. The next recipe in Baking Yesteryear is the baked apples. However, just because of some timing and everything, I really don't have a good time to make them and try them this week. So I will be jumping ahead to the next recipe after the baked apples, which is the potato candy, which I'm really curious about, um, and kind of see what this is like and everything. I know we've done some other candies and stuff like that from this book already. Um, so I am really curious to give this one a try and see how this turns out. um, and everything. Next week, I will be back with the baked apples, and then the following week after that, we have the banana marlow, which is an ice cream, which I am really excited to try, especially since it's summer, perfect time for some ice cream. I do believe that is a no chill ice or a no churn ice cream and everything, which I do love. Um, and everything. And then we will be done with the 1930s chapter. And after that, we will obviously be starting the 1940s chapter, which is another chapter I'm really looking forward to getting into. Um, so that's our little bit of housekeeping for today. Let's get started on the potato candy. Okay, so our potato candy actually only uses 3 ingredients. We've got some powdered sugar here, um, potato, of course, and then we've got some peanut butter, and that is actually all that we need. I did go ahead and peel and dice my potato. I'm going to get some water in my pan here and get this cooking, um, and then I will be back. All right, so I added some water to my pan here. We are just going to cook these until they are fork tender, just like we did for the donuts last week. I did cover these just to get them cooking a little bit faster. Once these are done, I will be back. All right, so the potatoes are done. I have them mashed and in a bowl here. I'm going to let them cool just a little bit. Once they are cooled, I will be back and we will start beating in the powdered sugar. All right, so my potatoes are down to room temperature. I added some powdered sugar. I am going to beat this in and just keep beating in the powdered sugar a cup at a time. Um, and we'll see where we are after this, after I've got all the powdered sugar added in. It does say you might need to add more powdered sugar. It should form like a ball, I guess, and should be firm enough to be able to like roll out and everything. And more powdered sugar might be needed to reach that texture. So we'll see where we are after I have the initial amount of powdered sugar added in, and I will be back. All right, so I did just want to pop in here really quick. It is coming together really nice, but I did transfer this to my stand mixer. It was just getting to be a little too hard to mix with my hand mixer, so I did transfer it to this. I'm going to finish getting this mixed up and then I will show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so here we are. I know you're probably being like, what happened to the rest of this potato candy? Because I was mixing it up and now here I am. But the truth of the matter is I'm not going to finish making it. It just was not turning out. I wasn't liking the way it tasted, and I didn't want to waste any more ingredients on trying to make this better. Um, so unfortunately, here we are. I'm not finishing it. Um, this will not happen again. or I'm not counting on this ever happening again, because I usually try to at least finish and try everything that I make for you guys and give my thoughts on how it is after it's completely finished. Just I just could not do it this week. The dough was not cooperating with me. It got super crumbly. I added some water, and then after it did form a dough eventually, but it just did not taste good. It just was basically like eating straight powdered sugar when I tasted a little bit of it. And it's, I just was like, just no, I'm not going to waste an entire jar of peanut butter on this to finish it. And I don't know, maybe I should or should have. Maybe it is better with the peanut butter. I don't know, because I could not justify using an entire jar of peanut butter on something that was already not turning out well and that I was not liking, and everything. And I honestly thought about just completely scrapping this video and making something else for you guys this week and just letting you guys know that the potato candy wasn't turning out, but I really didn't want to do that either, because I did want to be honest with everything on here on the stuff I make. If something doesn't turn out, I want to show that too, because I don't want this to be like a perfect cooking show type thing, where everything looks amazing and everything tastes amazing and all that, because that's not real. There's stuff that you make that doesn't turn out. There's stuff that you start making that just ends up being awful and you don't finish it and everything. And I want to show that too. So here we are. Please let me know down in the comments before if you've made potato candy, if that straight powdered flavor, sorry, if that if the dough tasting like straight powdered sugar was normal, if it's better with the peanut butter. Like, let me know if you've made this before and what you thought of it. I did look at some other recipes online after I got rid of the this and everything, and there was some that used butter and some vanilla in it, and maybe those are better, but honestly I really don't want to try them and waste all these ingredients again with it. So we are honestly just going to say the potato candy's a no-go. At least for us in our house, it was a no-go and everything. I really am not counting on this ever happening again. My goal with the stuff I make on this channel is to at least finish making everything that I start and giving it a try and letting you guys know my opinion on that recipe, like we've been doing for the past year. That is not going to change now that I've scrapped one recipe. And everything. So please don't think this is going to start happening all the time now, because it's not. I don't want to be doing that. I don't want to be wasting all this food by not finishing stuff and everything. Even if the stuff doesn't turn out the greatest, we usually still try and finish it, just because food is expensive. Who wants to be wasting all that food and money and everything just to throw something away? And that honestly was the big reason I didn't finish it, just because I could not justify wasting even more ingredients on something that we were probably just going to end up throwing away anyway. So here we are. Yeah, so next week we will be back to normal with a finished video, and everything. Next week I am hoping to be able to make the baked apples. It is really hot right now where I am, which was a big part of the reason I skipped ahead to the potato candy. I mean, some of it, a big part of the reason was scheduling, like I said at the top of the episode, but it also did kind of work out well because it's been in the 90s here and I really did not want to have my oven on while it is this hot. I'm hoping it cools off in the next day or two, so next week when I go to make the baked apples, it'll be a little bit more comfortable to do so. But yeah, that's where we at. I'm sorry for not finishing this video. But it is what it is, and here we are. So please let me know what you've thought of potato candy, if you've made it, if you've had the same issues and everything, if you liked it and everything. And if you like it and you make it all the time, great. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. But anyway, next week we'll be back to normal. So until then, good times, good food. Bye.